Good day all, welcome to the next video in which we're going to have a look at sorting. Now, sorting of data is normally, in normal cases, a list of names where you sort the characters or sort the names from the lowest value to the highest value, or vice versa, from the highest value to the lowest value. And as I said, normally names or numbers that you would sort. Very often, however, you have codes, and codes can be a combination of numbers and characters together. Let me explain the difference. In previous videos I did mention that we have different things that we can put in a cell. The first one is a character field. A character can be a combination of a whole lot of letters from A to Z, or so that's a character field, but also the combination thereof is also character field. So a name in this case is a capital H, little a, little n, little s, and that is built up of different characters, and it becomes a character field. Same with Peter. Please note that character fields are normally aligned to the left. A number field, where we put in numbers 1 to 10 or 1 to anything, with or without commas, and those are all numbers, and they are normally aligned to the right. And I say normally because we as the user can come and reset the alignment. So I can realign these numbers, which are normally aligned to the right. I can align them to the left or to the center or anywhere where I would want to put them. Of those three, and those are the two different types that I can put into a field. Please note that I've entered a number. In this case it is left aligned because I started this number with an apostrophe, meaning it is actually a character. Although I'm using the number 1, I've placed it as a character 1, which is the same as in this field B4, where I say A1 underscore sales. Now that is a character field starting with a number. Each character on your keyboard, as I mentioned, has a ASCII value, and the sorting gets done according to the ASCII value. So when I copy this data to a place where I'm going to sort it, next to it I have shown the first character, the ASCII value of the first character. So the 1 is ASCII value 49, 2 50, the capital S is 83, the little s is 115. Now when you sort, when I sort this, and please note what's going to happen. I'm going to go use this one, and I've sorted. First of all, let me explain something else. In this data, I have grouped, this is a set of data, and I selected this data. So in this set of 3 columns, I have selected this row. When I went sort, it came with a warning and said, Excel, think that there is more data attached to this data that you're trying to sort, which in this case it is, and it is now giving me a warning to say that only this data will be sorted, which in this case I'm happy to do, because this is the column F is a formula. As I sort this will automatically gets recalculated, so I don't really mind. So I'm gonna, but I can also say expand the data, so it will take this data, it will take all of it and sort it. So let's do that. Or I can say continue with the current selection, so it's only going to sort this data that I've selected. And let's expand everything and say let's sort this. So I've sorted all the data. You now see is resorted. This didn't really get sorted because it's a formula. It depends on the sort that is here. I can undo that take the same data again and now just continue with the current selection. Now you'll see that column 1 and column 2 will be sorted, not column 3. So if I do that, column 1 and 2 are sorted, but it is a false sort because this is not sorted. It is a function of the first character in this data. But please note what did happen is that the ASCII value of the little a is greater than the ASCII value of the big A, and it landed up in between. So what happens in the sort, the logical way to sort, is it takes the capital of the first character to group it all together so that all the A's stay together, all the H's stay together, and all the data that belongs to the sort, as in the S's, will stay. So it has converted the first character to all capitals. It then keeps the data together. What then happens, it goes and sorts the second character. So the first character was sorted according to the A's. It kept the A's together and the S's and the H's. But then it goes to the second character, and the 1 is, as we saw down here, is the 1 is 49, as we see in the first one, and what happened in this case, it's exactly the same, A1 underscore sales, A1 underscore sales, but it then took and it said the A is higher in value, or should I say lower in this case, than the small a, and it puts, because it's higher, it put the little a below the capital A. It then went to the ones because the ones is the same, and everything else is the same. That is why this got sorted correctly. The next character is an underscore, and underscore, as we can see, is lower in the ASCII table than the F. So it puts the underscore first, and after that the F. That is why this was sorted in this way. If I look at the sales, sales and sales, same word. This one and this one, same word. It did group the capitals together, and then it looked at the first one and said the capital is smaller in value than the small s, and that's why the small s came after. It then looked at the second character, and the U is smaller than the bigger than the A, and that is why it ended up below this sales. So the S first grouped the S's, the capital S's together. It then looked at the smaller s, which came in the same name second, and under the S's the U is bigger than the A, because the A we know is 97, and sorry, let's have a look at, let's do that. We put an A is 97 and the U is 117. That is why this SU is underneath sales. That is how this got sorted. If I wanted to sort it in the order of I'm going to come back to that because I was going to sort this, but this is a function of this list and it won't sort. So I will come back. Let's have a look at that in this list here. So when I sort the first name, I sort it and I get it is sorted on the A's first, then B's, but there are no B's, then C's, but there are no C's, then the D's, E's, and so forth, all the way down to from the smallest to the biggest. I can change that around. I can sort it from Z to A, then I get the biggest one first. If I go to the last name, we would expect, because these numbers are, sorry, I'm looking at this list now, because that's the second, that's the last name. You see that the small d is bigger than the uppercase letters. So the highest uppercase letter, in this case I can't find it, as W, I think, W there, is 87. The small d is 100. But when I sort this, you will see that again, as in what I explained earlier, the capitals gets grouped. So the A, B, C, the D's get considered as the capital D, which comes after in this group, belong in this place. And that is why the hundreds are not in order of where it should be. If I wanted to sort this data according to the cases, so the uppercase first and then the lowercase, I can sort this data and do the same trick. Now the lowercase are at the bottom, or if I do it the other way around, they are here at the top, because I've sorted this data biggest to smallest, 100 to 65. So in the normal sort, I would get the lowercase sorted within the uppercases, and they are, as we saw here, then sorted according to the second letter, the third letter, and then the capital B's, and that's why the capital W is below at the bottom. In the B's, the E comes before the O, and that's why these two are sorted correctly. So that's how it sorts these letters. A number obviously gets sorted in the normal 1 to 30. A word of warning: this data has got a header. If I take this data and I switch my data has headers off, and I do this, it was sorted by here, by the number, and you see that the header disappeared, because the header now went to the bottom. Why? Because the 1 is lower in value than the n. If I go over here and I take the 1 here, which is 49, and I take the capital N, which is 78, so from 49 all the way down to, and the 3 is 51, so all the way down with a normal sort of numbers, and then comes the capital. That's why it went to the bottom. If, however, I say my data has headers, it will leave the header in the position. So if I now sort this data again, oops, I must go undo. There. I must say that my data has headers. I can now sort this, and it will keep the header at the top. What I mentioned here, when I sort data, when I sort numbers, obviously it goes from 1 to the highest number. When we sort, I've entered these numbers as text. So we would expect, when I sort this, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you'll see that if I sort this, oops, again, I'm only sorting this set of data, so I'm going to say continue with this selection. And now we see something funny happening. Did I first of all select the right data? Okay. We see that what has happened here, something has gone funny here, but this was actually what I wanted to show, is that they all start with a 1. So in the same as what we did here with, sorry, let's sort this quickly, with the D's and with the H's and with the S's, it grouped it together. So it grouped all the 1s together, and then it went to the second character, and it got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. So it sorted by this. Then it went to the 2. I'm not quite sure why the 3 is, sorry, that's not an issue at the moment. This is what I wanted to show. Then the 2s are grouped together, and then there are no 41s, 42s, and 43. So this is then sorted. Let me just do this one again. Yeah, There it is. I've had to redo that. Now it's correct. I just retyped it in. I must have typed the wrong character or a wrong. It sorted all the ones together, starting with 1, and then it went 0, 1, 2, 3. Then it grouped the 2's together, and then it sorted 3, 4, 5 up to 9. That you must be careful for, that when you're sorting characters, so even though they are numbers, they are sorted as if they were characters, as in this case here. I've shown you the importance of making sure that my data has headers, and that is basically all I wanted to show you about sorting. There are more things to be said later, but for the beginning, this is the important issues. Please note that sorting can be taken from the home menu. Right at the end we have editing, and there we have sort and filters, and here we have the same. We have the sorting icons, the same as in the sorting icons here. Later we can get more complex, where we can get different levels of sorting. Now in this case we can sort, for example, first on. Very often we wanted to sort first on the last name, so I've now sorted the last name greatest to smallest. Now what if we wanted to do the same thing, because here we've got a whole lot of S's, and here I wanted the lower ones first. We then have to go and do a double sort. Sorry, I mustn't do that. We must then do a double sort, and the first level we can say take the last name, and go from, let's go A to Z, and then we add a level and we say take the first name and go from Z to A. Now we've gone from A to Z here, so the smallest to the biggest. But if I take and it was the S's that have got the most, here we go from the let's take these 3, because it is these 2 that are the same. First the smallest one, then the biggest one. Remember, all these are different. Even the H's, there's only one Peter Harris. So if there were more Harrises, then it would have been sorted. But here's in these ones here, in the DE, we've got 1 the beer, so that's again, that's why I said that later in life we can do the more complex sorts, but that is basically what this double level sorting, where we can have different fields that we can sort in different orders. But that will come in a later state. For now, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.